Hello boys, so pretty much today what I'm going to show you is the best keybinds for Rust in the current day, you know, the best PvP keybinds, the best like movement keybinds, the best, you know, like weapon keybinds for combat and everything like that. So yeah, let's just get straight into it with the first one. Alright, so the first keybind I'm going to be showing you is an instant combat log keybind. So otherwise, if you didn't have this keybind, what you'd have to do is go through the effort of typing in combat log mid-fight, then it coming up, and you know, but instead I'm going to show you a command which basically instantly brings it up. Alright, so the first one we have is this right here. By the way, these will all be linked in the description, just so you know, you don't have to type them out and you can just copy and paste them straight into your console. So here we have bind F1 console toggle combat log. So, you know, I enter this in, and let me just like shoot a bot real quick, like that or whatever, yeah. And it takes a few seconds to come up, so I have mine as F1 just because personally, you know, I just like it like that. And it'll come up in a sec. There we go. We pressed F1, we didn't have to type it in, and you know, UNA AK entity, yeah, whatever. It's not counting because it's UK, but you know, you see what I mean? It's an instant combat log just like that instead of having to type it out, so yeah. Alright, so this command is kind of an essential command I think everyone should kind of have when playing Rust, and it is auto run. I feel like, you know, in this game, especially if you're on a large map, you know, even if you're not, sometimes you don't feel like holding in shift and forward, you know, sometimes it can be a bit grief. So what you want to do is basically paste this command right here that is in the description, and which is bind Q forward sprint. Obviously you can change this to whatever you want, but I like to have mine on Y, so then I put this as this. Press Y and I'm just sprinting, you know, I don't have to hold in shift and forward like constantly. It's just kind of good. You can take your hands off the keyboard, like right now I just have my hand on my mouse, and you know, you can have your phone in your hand or whatever, just, or you can do other things with your hand, you know. I'm not saying like what type of things, you know, don't get any ideas, but yeah, that's pretty much that keybind. Alright, so the next keybind is going to be a permanent crouch. So you don't have to hold control. If you start door camping someone, you know, for a long time, you don't want to constantly hold control or whatever your key is to crouch. You can basically put this in console right here, bind C duck, but you know, change this to whatever. I had mine on N, I think it was. So you know, if I'm coming up to a base and I don't want to hold it forever, you know, just press that and hold forward in. It's pretty simple, just like that. Alright, so pretty much this is a FOV command where you can switch your FOV mid-fight if you wanted to. Obviously you want to have this on keys that, you know, you're going to want to use, but I'm going to put them as random keys because I don't personally use this, but I mean, it is actually kind of useful if you have it on the right keys. Alright, so what you're going to want to put in console for this is bind, then whatever you want. I'm going to choose O, then FOV 90, okay? So we put that in. And then you put bind P, FOV 60. Put that in console, and then basically you switch between these two and you have yourself a quick change in FOV. Like, you know, you don't have to pretty much go in settings and change it if you're in mid-fight. If you have this on some good keys, obviously you wouldn't have them on O and P or whatever because that's just stupid, but I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. But if you want to have these on some keys or whatever that like you feel comfortable with, this can actually be really useful, especially in like fights and whatever. Alright, so for this next one, we're going to have a movement keybind, which is, in fact, the physics.steps 60 command, which you may be familiar with and you may not be familiar with. But pretty much, this right here, command in console, you put this in, and it basically just makes you jump higher, you know? That's pretty much what it is, you know? It'll be easier to make certain jumps. I think the game sets it to 32 when you first load up the game, when you've not changed anything. So, yeah, just stick that in and your movement will generally be a lot better. Alright, this next keybind is actually one I found out recently, which one of my friends told me about, which honestly I had no idea how long it's been in the game, and I didn't even know it was in the game. So pretty much it's you can change your sensitivity when you ADS. So you know, you have your normal sensitivity, which you like look around on, whatever. Pretty much when you ADS, you can do this on most games. You can change your ADS sensitivity, but there's not really like a setting for it in like control. So you have to do it through console, which is what I'm going to show you how to do it now. So what you're going to want to put in is this command I've put in the description. Obviously you change these to whatever you want. You know, this is what you change. You change this number right here, the like 6 that I've highlighted, and you change this 21 to whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. And yeah, try around with it for a bit, and yeah, you can feel, once you feel comfortable, it's all good, you know what I mean? So yeah. Okay, so this next bind is a more situational one. So pretty much, you know, when you're swimming, if you swim back to oil rig or whatever, you know, your situation is you're out there swimming. If your cargo doesn't have a rib on it, someone's took it, you have to swim back. But, you know, it's kind of grief when you're holding in all these keys to swim back, and, you know, it's kind of effort because you'll be swimming for a long time. So pretty much this keybind just saves your fingers. So then you put this command right here on the console, obviously change to what you want, press enter, press the key, and if you're in water, I'm not in water right now, so it'll look a bit weird, but pretty much it's an auto run, and you'll, you know, not have to hold spacebar as well. So it's actually pretty sick. And honestly, I've known about this for a while, but I couldn't ever like be asked to really do it, to be honest. I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll just you know, stick around and hold the spacebar. But it is actually really worth doing. It saves you just a lot of effort and time. You know, you can go on your phone or whatever while you're just like swimming back to rig if you've been killed. You know, it's just something that you kind of need to have. Okay, so the next keybind I'm going to talk about is the sea underwater glitch. I made a video about this a good few months ago. I don't even know if it's been a year. It might have been. It was one of the first videos on my channel. And yeah, I'm going to include it in this video because it's still not patched to this day. And I don't really know why, because it's actually really OP. I'll show some footage on the screen on how it works right now. But, you know, as you can see, it's kind of OP. So you're going to need two commands for this, which I'm not sure if I mentioned. But yeah, so the first command for this is this right here, bind key whatever, water quality 0. So you put that to that. And then you put this key binding right here, basically just another key, but the water quality to 2. And then do that like that. Then basically, when you're in water trying to find someone's like loot or whatever that you've killed from like oil rig, you know, whatever, cargo, if you've killed them, and you're trying to find it. And yeah, look at me just spamming this right now. You know, you can see how it's a bit glitchy, but yeah, you saw how it works previously, so yeah, you get the gist of it. So another simple command is pretty much an auto attack. So, you know, if you're soft siding through a wall or something, you know, you don't want to hold left click constantly. You could create a macro in your like mouse software for this, but honestly, it's just a lot easier to do it in this. So you're gonna put bind, then let's say number 8, just for instance, you know, obviously, and then you put attack in, and you press number 8, and yeah. So if you have a jackhammer in your hand or whatever, anything like that, a pickaxe, you know, it's gonna get the work done. So yeah. Alright, so this one is basically a recoil compensator for some guns. Obviously not like the AK or anything, it's not going to make you have amazing spray with the AK, but like the M28X for example, pretty much, you know, you will just like, you tap this, yeah, it goes up like that, if you just click it once. But with this keybind, which is player.recoilcomp, and then you press space true, turn that to true, and then when I click, just like once on this head, you see what I mean? It looks like a script type of thing, but it's not. It's just like an in-game thing that you can just have, which I'm pretty sure is off when you load up the game first time. So yeah, you're going to want to have that, just because, you know, it's something good. I'm pretty sure it works on, it may work with other guns. I'm not going to say the other guns. I think it works with M39. Alright, I have to test this now, just in case like it doesn't. So yeah, it doesn't. So do not take my word for that. And for this one, if you want to see your frames, like, for me, you see in the top right, I have the Alt-Z on, which is like the NVIDIA Shadow Play FPS count or whatever. But obviously, if you don't have an NVIDIA card or whatever, you can't have that. So what you're going to want to do in Rust is type perf1. And then you see in the far bottom left, which I can try zooming on, you'll see the FPS counter, which is, you know, pretty good to have. It's pretty small, but I'm pretty sure you can make it larger, and there's all different settings like that. But yeah, that is just one simple FPS counter that you can have. Alright boys, so that's mainly it for the keybinds that I use in the game. There's obviously more keybinds I could cover, but you know, I'd be here forever if I covered every keybind in the game. But if any of these keybinds helped you in any way or anything like that, then make sure to leave a like on the video, yes, and subscribe, because I do make other videos like this quite a lot. And if you found this one helpful, you may find my other ones helpful. So yeah, that's it from me, and goodbye.